everybody, and thank you for attending today's webinar for the Kibeam pilot. I'm really excited that we're going to be getting this off the ground. Thank you, Jeff, for attending, and we will turn it over to you momentarily. We're going to be going through everything from unboxing the Kibeam to using it with your students. I don't think that there's going to be a huge lift, but there are going to probably be some logistics that we need to pay attention to, and just being able to charge it and take care of the materials and returning them and using it with your students on, are you doing it in a center? Are you doing it with a full class? Are you doing it at tables? Or, how are you integrating it into your library program? And that's going to be different for everybody here. The majority of you are elementary, but there are some students that are a little bit older and are reading at a lower level, and we're going to take that into consideration when you're and please take that into consideration when you're selecting your texts and your sets. And I probably would ask if we allow those individuals to go first in their selections so that we don't check out things that we only have a short amount of for the people that are over age or under their reading level. And then we're going to spend some time on a Q&A. We're going to keep the Q&A in a Google Doc. That way we can add to it as the pilot is going on. So if there are any issues from a logistical question to a device question to a student usage question, we could keep track of it. And so we hope that all these things will allow us to integrate Kibeam into MyLibraryNYC. And I look forward to you all being a part of the pilot and getting our kids engaged with Kibeam. And I'm going to turn it over to Jeff.
Turn my microphone on. Thank you so much, Melissa. We're super excited to be partnering with you in New York City. And I actually going to go, I have a couple of slides. I want to keep it very informal. You have questions, please raise your hands. But I want to actually kick it off with a 1-minute video just to show you exactly what the wand is, what it can do, and to show you exactly what we're trying to accomplish with our students. We're super, super excited about this.
Okay, I did give you permission to share.
Yep, I'm all good.
Okay.
It should pop up on the screen right now, and it's going to click play.
The wand lets you select a book,
Fly Guy and the Aliens,
The Word Collector,
read a page,
To read these pages, press the big green button. Spinosaurus. They lived on land and in water.
hear individual words,
They lived on land and in water.
hear phonemes,
Bat.
interact with syllables,
Spinosaurus. That's a big word. Let's break it apart. Hold your wand like a hammer. Hammer on the word until it breaks apart. Spine. Us.
answer questions,
Use your beam to find the word quiet. Quiet. That's it.
build their vocabulary through movement and play,
Torrential,
Here comes the rain. Hold up your wand like an umbrella.
now that was a torrential downpour.
and learn and play in different languages.
My costumes are as colorful as my music. With Russell, mis vestidos son tan coloridos como mi música.
Perfect. Hopefully stop share works. So the wand was created by Jim Margraf. And if you already know anything about leap pads or leapfrogs, has anybody ever heard of a leap pad? So same guy, 25 years ago, Jim created the leap pad and brought it to market and helped over 100 million children learn to read. When he did that, he actually never stopped doing other things and creating other products. And he created the Live Scribe pen. He created the iFluence goggles that became part of Apple Vision Pro. And then he actually went and popped this here. You can see my screen now. And by the way, I'm Jeff. Spent 18 years in New York City, 12 years in Hawaii. I'm an educator by trade. I'm a math and science guy, and I've actually worked in literacy now the last 12 or 13 years. So his first company, he actually had a technology company, then geographic literacy, interactive globe, then the LeapPad, LiveScribe pen, then iFluence goggles, and now the Kibeam wand. And what do? We teach kids to read without screens using AI. And that's the basic gist of it as well. We're not collecting any PII on the student at all. And this is the actual features of the wand. So you can go and I'm excited to see Alyssa doing an unboxing. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you'll see there's a sensor that allows you to read the book. There's LED lights that are just for engagement and for interaction with the student. It has what's called a magnetometer in it. So it has a motion sensor. So if you move it, when it tells you to move, it knows you're moving it up, down, sideways. It has a rechargeable battery that will last roughly 5 hours. It says 3 hours. It's about 5 hours it'll run. At 4 gig of storage, it'll hold up to 100 books. You guys have a selection of 5 books that you're going to be using from the New York Public Library program, MyLibraryNYC, and it has a headphone jack that goes along with it. It's really straightforward, really easy to use, and people love it because kids get truly engaged with it. And then there's multiple ways to use it in the classroom. So you can use it as a single user that comes in your kit that you'll see, and one child can use one wand, and it just plug it back in at night and it'll charge your wand back up. So it's really, really easy to use, very little tech involved for the teacher. You can use it in a literacy center, putting the books there with the headphone jack. You'll see on the bottom it has a headphone jack and has a USB charger. And it's very, really easy. It weighs about the same as a Wii remote, if you remember a Wii. And that's actually how big it is as well. And when you have it in the classroom, you'll find out different ways. And the children will actually, we've done pilot studies now. We were funded by the Gates Foundation. And we did pilot studies with as young as 3-year-olds using the wand. And it worked out perfect with the kids. A little bit younger than that, they have challenges trying to get manual dexterity. But I'm going to pass it back to anyone if there's no questions. I'm in New York often, and I'd love to visit some of your schools. So I'll coordinate with Melissa and with Leanne and Alyssa to be able to actually come and visit and to see what's going on. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's a pilot. If something goes wrong, we really want to know about it. And I'm from New York. I have thick skin. Believe me, I deal with Melissa. I have to have thick skin. I'm just
You're very funny.
She's been great to me, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to work with the New York City school system and the New York Public Libraries. That's for sure. So thank you so much for having me here today. And if there's any questions, if not, I think that they're going to proceed.
One question that was in the chat that I saw was getting a link to the video.
Oh, I'll drop. I can send it to you. That one's only a minute and 25, so it's easy. And I'll send you the one that's 4.5 minutes long that we actually did for an NSF grant that we had. That shows you how we actually developed the wand and how it's used in classrooms. I'll send both links for those things. One will be downloadable, and the other one will be actually a YouTube video. Perfect.
I think the shorter video would be really beneficial to use as a promotional tool with your teachers when you're engaging them in the process. So your students are not just coming to the library and using the wand there, but they're using it in the classroom as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. And we're going to turn it over. Are we going to unbox? Is it unboxing time?
I guess so.
I
Yes.
think,
So
I think, you got to do this in the TikTok fashion. I hope you have music.
I don't think I'm as cool as one of these influencers or TikTokers or anything like that. So you're just gonna get like my version of the unboxing, but hopefully, it will do what it needs to.
Yeah.
And in Lisa's defense, she was out of the office last week when we decided we'll put this on the agenda, and I'm like, she'll unbox it live.
I'm gonna, we're here. We're gonna try our best, and again. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna go.
1:15 p.m. Alyssa, your TikTok fame started right here. We were all here to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, you all. Okay, all right. So this is what it. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. Okay, this is what it looks like. So this is what the box will look like. Not discombobulated like this because I was just trying to, but this is what the box will come in and what it will look like. It will arrive in a red bin, MyLibraryNYC bins. You're all familiar with this, so they will come in And this is kind of odd doing an unboxing here, but here we are. So again, this is the box. I open it up. Sorry, I had to like check this earlier. So, you're just gonna pull out the, and so I must, a disclaimer, I don't know how long these boxes are going to last, to be completely honest, right? So we might have to find alternates to, for boxing this, because, with kids and, and wear and tear, but we're gonna, they're pretty durable, these boxes. So then here's the wand. It's in like this. Never done this before. So maybe this will be the start of like my influencer career or side hustle. So, and then here's the USB port for you all to charge the Kibeam. So you're gonna go ahead and plug this here. And then you could just charge this to, anything that has a USB, you could just plug this to charge the Kibeam. To turn on the Kibeam, there's a side power button over here where I know it's super tiny, you all can see it. So it's here, so you just turning on the wand right now. And it lights up.
Point your wand's happy beam.
So this is one of the titles that we have here. This is Super Fly Guy, and I'm gonna share the other titles that we have as well too. But this is Super.
Paint you want and point your happy beam at it. Chapter 1. One day, Fly Guy. To choose a different page, press your big green button. Or to hear more choices, press your small red button again and again. Great! Point your beam at the pages you want to read. Remember, point at the right distance so you see the happy face.
Here we go. I'm seeing the happy face. I don't know if you all can see it.
Choices, press your small red button.
Okay.
To choose a different page,
Here we
press
go.
your big green button. All right? Point your beam at the pages you want to read. Remember, point at the right distance so you see the happy face. Page. Chapter 1. One day, Fly Guy went to school with Buzz. I learned about reading and phonics. I learned about arts. Stay and play by pointing your beam at pictures and words. He learned about art.
Okay. So then this is an example of that. So it's just a little bit of manipulating and then playing with it and more. Just practice, but it's and it tells you like it'll go through the page numbers. Again, it's just pointing the beam and seeing clicking on making sure you see the.
Roz was sad. Fly
Okay.
Guy was sad.
Okay, the happy face. So, any questions so far before I continue? Jeff, is there anything that I may have missed or anything probably?
No, it was great. And you did a great job for using it the first time. And one of the things that when you're using the book, and I have the same book and I read the same page, right? It has a microphone built into it, right? That's not activated yet, but it has a speaker And the speaker is loud enough if you're in a small, quiet environment like Alyssa is. But if you're in a classroom, we recommend using a headset just because it's a little bit better for the child to be able to utilize it as well. But it'll cover all different aspects of, where everybody's focused on the science of reading. It'll do oral phonological awareness, have words read to them. It does decoding. It does comprehension at the end of the books. Most of the last pages will have an activity, and it'll bring you back through the book and ask you comprehension questions. So as you find this, do that. So there are pedagogical implications for using the books, as well as we know the research around how many words a child hears by the time they're 5 years old. It's going to help them actually engage with more content. Students that are struggling readers, they can use it while they're reading. So if the book is being read to them and they want to stop it, you press the big green button once, it will stop, and you can point to single words after that, or paragraphs or other content. And then there's one thing that's on here, and if I could just show you briefly, and I'm just going to plug a speaker in so you can hear for sure. And I just have a little tiny speaker that's next to me. So I'm picking the same page Alyssa had.
Page you want and point your happy beam at it.
So the smiley face, you'll see the green light comes on.
New page. One guy learned about reading and phonics. He learned about art. You get to make a choice now. Do you want to stay and play or keep reading?
So
To stay and play, press your big green button. To keep reading,
and now there's
stay and
activities
play
and
by pointing your
games
beam
that you
at
can
pictures
play
and words.
that reinforce what you were doing. So you can search around the page, and all it'll do, and Alyssa showed us the single words.
Look about
But if I start searching around,
does. Fuzz. Game time. Press your big green button. Let's play a game. Let's help Fly Guy learn about phonics. Look in the story text. Point your beam at the word phonics.
It begins with the letter C-H.
About learned phonics. That's it. Phonics is about matching letters to the sounds they make.
Like knowing the letter T, PH makes the sound.
Goodbye.
so it reinforces, and if it doesn't give the child a negative, if they get it wrong, it just goes whoop, whoop, and then it actually gives you the correct word, and there's activities that go along with it as well. So every page has engaging activities that are laid on the traditional trade books that are in your library as well. So Alyssa, great job. Awesome.
How many games are included or activities in each book, do you think?
So each book will have this book. I just give you a Scholastic says that people, or we actually have surveys that show most children will spend 7 to 10 minutes reading this book by themselves. Our kids spend 34.8 minutes because we can tell you how much time they use the wand. There are books that will take a kid an hour or 2 hours. There are children that replay activities over and over and over again. I mean, one of your books, Harlem Grown, which is one of my favorite books. If you know Tony Hillary, he's up in Harlem. He has a bunch of community gardens. There's activities on here about picking up trash, and you have to move the wand and throw the trash into the garbage. And every time you throw it, it goes whoop, and it makes all these great noises. Little kids love it. I mean, adults, you can see I enjoy doing it because it's just fun. But it takes anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours if you keep exploring every activity. We have one book that's a space book that's not part of your program that will take 5 hours to go through. Your wand will be dead by the time you finish every activity. It lasts between 4 and 5 hours. So, but it had
Regards to the
Sorry?
speaker, does it have to be wired to use it with the Kibeam, or can you use it with Bluetooth as well?
No, it has to be wired. It has to be a
wired,
speaker.
yeah.
Has to be a wired speaker. Bluetooth will be available in the future. It's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled, right? But in the pilot program, we didn't turn that on. We didn't turn the microphone on and things like that as well. We're just going through the pilot to see the proof of it, that it works with kids and how you guys use it in libraries. We're super excited, or classrooms, or with teachers using it for whole group instruction. We had a great teacher. If you know A Fantis School, it's a little tiny Catholic school that's down on State Street in Brooklyn. And he actually, the principal, after just like Alyssa learned to use it and then went out there. He actually took it in front of a classroom and he actually engaged the kids using it and had the kids waving their arms as if they had a wand. And the kids were just loving it in the kindergarten classroom. It was so much fun to see the kids engaged.
I think one of the things that we could definitely keep track of is how much time students are spending in a book, engaged with the activities and engaged with reading it, as opposed to reading a book straight through.
Yeah. You're going to see, I mean, a child, we had one kid that we thought was just, we thought there was something wrong with the wand, honestly, because the kid would use it for 5 hours a day on the same book. And then we found out the child was a neurodiverse learner, and his mom said that she only lets him play with it until the wand dies, because otherwise he'll play with it all day long. But he was going back to the same activities over and over and over again in that one single book, and he just loved the cat. So we sent him out a bunch of other books, and now he plays with all of these books, but he plays 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 hours, depending on how many times he clicks and what he does as well. So it's super exciting.
Thank you. So I just wanted to also just share the other titles that will be part of this pilot program. So as Jeff mentioned, we have Harlem Grown here. So this is, a favorite, and it's great because it is, it is based in New York City and a place we know. So as Jeff was saying, there's different activities that are part of this book. So you will be able to experience this through the wand as well. We have a bilingual title, which is My Name is Celia, Me llamo Celia, The Life of Celia Cruz, La Vida de Celia Cruz. So this, you'll be able to read both in English and Spanish. So we're really excited about this one. Also, Hey Wall will be part of the pilot as well. And my favorite book in the whole wide world, part of this as well. So my recommendation for older students that we have are these two. I'm sorry. My Name is Celia, and My Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. So this would be my recommendation to use with the older. Of course, that whatever you feel is best for your students, but these are the books that I suggest.
And we also understand that we're in April, testing season is starting, spring break is next week. So the sets will start to be mailed out when we get back from spring break. And obviously there's a very short window of time there between now and June, but we're going to try to use them as much as possible to take full advantage of them. And we apologize for the delay in any of the shipments and deliveries. We were hoping to get this off the ground earlier, but as we all know, we have to be flexible in the educational world. So go ahead.
Yeah, so to Ariel's question, so thank you, Leanne, for going ahead and responding. So being that this is a pilot program, we just wanted to choose a limited amount of titles, but we're hoping if this is successful, which we believe will be, we will add more titles in the future.
Right. And basically the titles are loaded onto the wand.
Yeah.
So we have a limited amount of titles that are on there. We wanted to get this out into the field as quick as we possibly can, and we literally just got them in. So because of that, and because of the cost factor, we're getting them out the door.
And Elisa, could you let people know how many books they'll get with the 6 wands?
So 6 titles. So it'll be like our usual teacher side. So if you order, so think of it as if you order a book club set, it's going to be the same thing. So you'll get 6 titles of the same. Yeah.
And can we let people know how they can request the sets?
I'm not sure if Tiffany was going to talk about that, but I can definitely. So I think Tiffany's talking about that. I do want to say,
Elisa, no, you can go for it.
No, I can go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I do want to say though that the only book that all wands will have is Flag Guide, because Kibeam kindly, they provided us with copies of those materials. So all of the wands actually have Fly Guide preloaded. So everyone will have access to those. It's just the other titles that I mentioned, which you will receive some slides after this with the titles that are just, we have limited copies of just to get it started. Ordering these sets. So being that is a, it's a pilot program and we are a bit delayed, we will be doing this through a form in which, so this, you will not be ordering this as you normally do the regular teacher sets. We're keeping this very contained. So you will be ordering this through a form in which you will request the titles that you would like to use with your students, and there will be more instructions coming forward with that. So for now, this is how, this is not, it's not going to be on the website. So we're working against the clock over here. So we're just trying to keep it contained within the group that's here. But you will receive further instructions with that. I hope that was clarifying. But if anyone needs any more clarification to that question, please feel free to.
Hi, excuse me, I have a question. I did write it. Do you have any idea how many we're getting?
So it's 6 per set.
6 wands.
6 wands, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, they come in a little self-contained box. It's cute. It'll be inside
Yeah.
your box.
And I mean, hopefully we'll see, so I think what would also be very helpful is, if we think we planned this logistically, like correctly, what we thought was best for shipping. But please share any feedback you have and receiving of the materials. If the boxes are, if it's not working or anything, we want all the feedback because we want this to be successful. So we're open to suggestions, but again, it's not a super, we also took longer because we were trying to make this as easy as possible for you all, as we know that you're all very busy and have are doing multiple things at once.
So I think
And
at
Jeff, so
this point,
sorry.
we're going to move over to Leanne and talk about Q&A and logistics and setting up office hours and any supports that you may need, and if there's any questions.
Hi. So we're gonna have a Q&A that's available. That's gonna be a Google Doc, and I believe a printed copy will also be included in the sets when they go out. So it's just basic copies, Q&A of how the sets work. We're also gonna set office hours. I'll email you some office hours. You can join a Zoom call and we can share out any questions people have, any exciting moments with students they want to share, any logistical concerns or technical concerns that we can address as well. So we'll let you know when those dates come out after the break. So probably, after you get the sets and start using them, we'll have 1 or 2 office hours. And you can always email us directly as well. So are there any questions at this time? Yeah, so the Q&A, Noemi will serve as the instructional set of how to use the wands. There's also the video download that Jeff shared on the chat. We'll upload that to our Google Doc form that we'll share out. So we'll have a link to that so you can download that video.
So what else do you need to be successful in this? What did we not think about?
I feel like just speaking for myself, I need to actually see the wand, and start using it, and then I will have the questions. My main question was asked about, how are we getting the sets, and they're coming together, correct? With the
Yes,
wand?
they will be coming together. So just think of it as a book club set, or or if you've ordered playaways with that also has the printed title, they will come together on the the bin, same process.
Great, we're excited.
And we're going to use the application that you submitted for the program to be and we'll do a post survey based on that application. We don't want to give you more work than necessary.
And then Helen and no, so the titles within the wands, Helen already preloaded. So these 6 titles, yeah, they're preloaded already into the wand. So you cannot read other titles aside from whatever is not preloaded into the.
And when are we sending the form out, Tiffany or Elisa?
So we will try to get it out before the end of this week then.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Naomi asked a question about our instructions on how to use the wand available with the kit. There's a quick start guide. It's 2 pages. It looks just like this. It's this spread here, and it basically walks you through how to use the wand. It's just a 4-page thing overall, telling you open your box, point it at the book, select those 2 pages, and that's just spread that's in the book as a teacher training guide. It's very simple to use. If you have any questions, please we'll put them into the ongoing chat, and we'll be able to answer them. And Jesse, it is a different experience when you have it in your hand versus seeing it. I can tell you that right now, because it becomes emotional. Like Harlem Grown has amazing music behind it. When we showed it to the author the first time, he was dancing around and jumping around because it was just his book came to life, is what he told us.
And just as a reminder, you are not ordering from the MyLibraryNYC site. You will be getting a form to order from that is separate from the MyLibraryNYC site. So where will you be ordering from?
The form.
Site, thank you.
Separate site,
Where will you not be ordering from?
definitely not the MyLibraryNYC website.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And can I also say, you're not going to be requesting all 6 titles. You're going to choose which titles you want once we get the form out to you. So, you're going to choose, 2 or of the 6 titles or 3. So it won't be all 6.
Yeah, so that we can spread this and we can get even just even feedback. And Ariel, I believe you had a question. So yes, the wand can read the 6 titles that are preloaded into the site, but we ask you to just order request either 2 or 3 so that we can evenly spread out the materials. Except Fly Guy is okay because Kibeam kindly preloaded all of our wands that we purchased with Fly Guy, but that's the only one that's we have extra copies of.
Okay. So
I
are
have a
there any
question?
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
hi, Felicia. Are these things that we can share with the classroom teachers?
Yes.
They can be, I'm just wondering, as a.
You don't have to keep it a secret. You don't have to keep it locked up in the
They don't
library.
have to be in the library.
No.
No.
No. And in fact, we would like to gather feedback from how you are using it. We're leaving it open-ended. So how do you use it in your school? Are you lending it out to classrooms? Are you doing delivery? Are they using it in each classroom for a limited amount of time? Anything that you could do to provide us feedback on how it was utilized in your school and why you selected that and what worked and what didn't work. We want to gather best practices. We want to gather information about how they were used in the classroom versus the library. Did you set up a center with them? Did the classroom set up a center? Did you lend it out for a week or a month or 2 weeks? You know, all these things that we can capture as best practices. So if we do decide to expand this and order more materials, we can provide a best practice guide to other librarians. And there's always the chance that you all fall in love with it and, you know, you decide that, and your administration finds money and they decide to order it just specifically for your school or your library.
Right, and Melissa, can I just add a little bit on that? So the classroom set is different than the library pilot set. The classroom set comes with 36 books, 6 wands, dashboard for teachers. It comes with included 2 hours of PD, posters for the wall that go around. The kids can interact with the walls. It's only for pre-K right now. It'll roll up into K-3 in January of 26. So we're rolling pre-K out in the fall this year, and then January 26 comes K1, 2, and 3, and then eventually going to upper L 4, 5. As that goes on. And somebody has put a speaker, it doesn't matter. As long as the speaker has a 3.5 inch, you know, the same regular little headphone jack, that one that you use on like your headphones, that's the one that fits in there. Any speaker will work. That was, I think, Nicole.
And as far as you know, we were able to order these early and kind of before they even hit the market. So that gave us an opportunity to explore them. So the number of titles are going to expand, the number of resources, the development of the wand is going to expand, but we wanted to start using it as soon as we possibly could. And so you're using, you know, emerging technology.
Yeah. You're the only school district in the country that actually has these. Nobody has them in the school at all. Everybody else had them.
Because we rock.
Yeah, because Melissa's the best. Melissa's great. Leanne and their team are amazing. I got to spend a ton of time with you guys in December, so it was a lot of fun getting to know people, and I just can't wait to see what happens.
So I will be looking for articles for sharing times, anything that you want to, you know, any feedback you want to provide. The one piece of feedback we did not want to gather was looking at student data specifically and tracking reading data so that there wasn't any PPI related to what we are capturing. So you don't need to add your email, no student email, no teacher email, none of those things are important for our sake for this pilot. But as Jeff said, for the classroom set, there is an expanded version of this that we are not utilizing for this specific pilot.
Right. And Melissa, can I just clarify with the expanded set? We still don't collect any PII. So we went through approval from the DOE, and we got approved through the Office of Early Childhood that because the way the wand works is you scan a little icon on the wall, like a picture of a giraffe or a goat or whatever animal, and the teacher's the only one that knows who has that wand. We don't know. We just know that this book was used with this wand, but we have no idea whose hand it's in. So there is no PI ever collected on the wand at all, which teachers, I mean, I know as an educator, it's great.
Okay, are there any other outstanding questions? And if you think of something afterwards, that's fine. Just email us. We're happy to help and get back to you. And anything that you can think of that you want to add to the FAQs, we are going to put it in the sets, but we also are going to keep it on a Google Doc so that it's live so that we can edit it as needed for any of those questions that come up. And there is no such thing as a silly question. We want to make this as successful as possible. So if something happens, you know, to it, or you can't figure out how to turn it on or shut it off or a plug or adapter or something, let us know and we're happy to help. And I think that that's about it then. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for taking time out of your afternoon. And especially thank you to Lisa and Tiffany for help getting this all together, and Leanne, of course, because it's taken a lot to deal with all the logistics of ordering and setting up the sets and moving this along. So thank you, Jeff, for the opportunity, because New York rocks. And, you know, we are the center of the universe and are happy to take things first before everybody else.
Awesome. Thanks. And hopefully this gives more credibility to the libraries and we can push for some more funding.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna stop recording and